welcome back to another episode of Games with Beth. I'm back with Doki Doki Literature Club. We're on the... sorry. We're on the Yuri path. We talked to her about her book. We talked about her poems. Natsuki ran out, so I'm kind of starting to get this sneaking suspicion that if you focus on one girl at a time, the others will all get upset. And I'm kind of scared of making everyone upset again. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? Were y'all fearful? Because I said fear. I think I saw this dialogue, so I'm going to skip ahead. We're on the walk. Okay. Let's go to the next poem with Yuri. Okay. Let's go with Dark. Oh! Ocean? No! Incongruent. Graveyard. Contamination. Marriage got me Sayori, so variance. Wrath. Prayer. Oh, that's Sayori. How about uncontrollable? Flee. Philosophy. She liked philosophy. Unrestrained. Okay. Disown. Frightening. Tenacious. That's a complex word. Infallible. That's a complex word. Skirt charm. Let's go with a tone. Intellectual. And I think uncanny? Yeah. Judgment. There we go. I'm pretty sure that'll be another hefty enough Yuri poem. No matter what, I've never gotten 100% on any of the girls' poems. So I think it will always lean a teeny tiny bit to Sayori until I finally try and go all the way with Sayori's poems. Okay. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, B. Yo, Sayori. Oh, is this a cookie caper? Is this a cookie incident? This is a cookie incident. I'm gonna speed through the cookie incident. I still love that the smacking happened. So thrilling. Alright, now we're back with Yuri. Hey, Yuri. I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. She's two-timing us with our books! Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Oh, no. I was kind of just waiting for you. If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf. The kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electrical kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk and then we'll get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks. I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you two off to? We're just... Yuri was going to make some tea, so I suddenly realized how weird it sounds for me to explain this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Ah, okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? That's
Monica, please mind your own business for once. Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve me in club activities?
Eh? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that.
Then let's go, B.
Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. That was kind of blunt. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall.
I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that?
Yuri.
Something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me?
No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that.
There's something in my throat.
Oh, this is supposed to be a special moment, but my nostrils and throat. Oh, I have a lot of dust in my room, but I also have the fan going because it's summer, so it's hot, so it's circulating all this dust. Oh, this can't be good for me. Anyway,
B, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me?
Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions and we can't always hide them. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane.
No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that?
Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that?
Friend, you say?
Yuri lifts her head.
B, I really like being friends with you.
Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway.
Yeah. Shall we go?
Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom.
B, do you like oolong tea?
Yeah. Anything is fine.
Very well.
Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees.
Now it's time to get the teapot.
You really do this properly, don't you?
Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if
I'm not an expert on tea or anything?
In that case, you'll only be even more impressed.
Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now.
Is that so? I was letting it show. And you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking. But I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around anyway.
That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much.
You're always worrying about me, B. It's very endearing.
Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us.
B, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today?
Huh? Why's that?
It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
No worries. I just have back pains very regularly, so I do my best to manage it.
Is that so? I wonder why that is.
It's most likely because of
your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading.
Yes! I have terrible reading posture. So that's why we should sit on the floor.
Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. Okay. But the boob thing is an accurate reason. You shouldn't have to be ashamed of that. I have back pains because of my boobs, and also because I'm hunched over on a desk recording audio for a game, or because I'm hunched over a tablet drawing. That's just how it be. So I already have pain from my own posture. I have pain from boobs. They're too big. And I've actually I don't know if this is TMI, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. Big boobs kind of suck. They hurt a lot. They hurt. And there's been cases where if your boobs are too big, they can actually put a lot of pressure on your back, and you might need reduction surgery if it gets to that point where it's severely harming your back, which is a thing that runs in my family. So, Yuri, you don't have to be ashamed. I get it. Girl, I get it. Anyway, moving on. I retrieved the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kinda cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now when I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book and to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might smudge on the paper. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. Oh, the particles! The particles are actually moving. That's really cool. They're not just still in the picture. This is such a beautiful illustration. I really like this. She holds it so that I don't have any harder time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate, and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if this situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lip over it. Hop! Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah, that's all it was. Yeah. Then you don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers. But this time, Yuri's eyes eat mine. Yuri's eyes meet mine, not eat. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breaths, as, a chest tends to do as we breathe. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips. But it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Whoa! That was abrupt. Okay, everyone. Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. B, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Who should I show my poem to first? I'm gonna confront Monica because she broke my special time.
Hi again, B. How's the writing going?
Alright, I guess.
I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece.
I wouldn't count on that.
You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today?
Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica.
Alright. This one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style?
I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented.
Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen.
I noticed that too. Or when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on inside of her.
Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on inside that head of hers?
I hope you don't mean that in a bad way.
No, of course not. I just meant that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that. You must be pretty into her.
You completely misunderstood.
Aha, calm down. I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend.
Wait, really?
Yeah, a fictional one anyway.
Monica kind of whispers that last part to me.
It's just a hunch, but,
well, there's not really anything wrong with that.
Oh, well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this turned out, so I hope you do too.
Alright, let's take a look. Okay, this is the same Save Me poem. Okay, so he's talking about abstraction. Who should I show my poem to next? Let's go with Sayori. So we're gonna go see everyone, and we'll put Yuri last since they're being awkward with each other right now.
Ooh, I like this one, B. It has some nice feelings in it.
I'm glad. I think her dialogue is gonna be the same for this poem. Yeah, her dialogue is the same. Let's go see Natsuki.
Well, I can admit it's better than the last one. It's nice to see that you're putting in some effort.
That's good.
But I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious.
What do you mean by that?
Poems don't need to be all deep sounding to express something. It's going to just sound like you're forcing it until you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this until you're on Yuri's level.
Natsuki stops short all of a sudden.
Don't tell me. You're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you?
What are you talking about? And keep your voice down.
You know Yuri would love this kind of angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean...
Looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve, though what I did is beyond me.
I am so done with you.
Natsuki shoves the poem I handed her back over to me.
Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me.
Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to press in the first place. Oh, I didn't get a poem from her that time. Wow. Things really change up depending on what you do. Like, most people I've seen do just kind of like neutral. They just kind of feel things out. And they get like these very generic going back and forth paths. But if you go like straight onto one of these girls, things are really different.
Let's see what you've written for today.
Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it?
B. This one might be even better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing.
Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Gulp. Even her hands appear sweaty. Knees weak, palms sweaty, mom spaghetti. Oh, I'm not used to this.
Used to what?
I don't know.
It's fine, take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her.
Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy.
Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it.
I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me.
You really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today?
Yeah, I do. If it's with you. The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttling of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendency as an ordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phases and reflects that much more light off of the cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. I could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again.
That's a little concerning.
I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's.
I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I began to imagine what this poem is about.
That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them.
Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean.
Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I want to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things that I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them.
Why do you keep them to yourself?
Because they're embarrassing, and people would make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Bea?
Well, yeah, I guess I do. It's called manga. I bonded over it with Natsuki in another timeline.
I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other and our individualities, even if it's difficult sometimes, and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned how to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself.
That's something I need to learn to do.
I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Bea.
That's exaggerating a little bit.
It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing. But now, I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that.
It's nothing, really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. And on that note, we're going to end the episode, and we'll see where more of the Yuri path takes us. It's interesting that focusing on one girl would get me their poem, but not the other person's.
Like, if you remember earlier on with Natsuki, Yuri thinks I hated her, so she didn't show me her poem. And now this time, Natsuki thinks I don't like her at all, also, so she didn't show me her poem. And that's kind of interesting. I guess they're supposed to be like the polar opposites of each other in that case. So yeah. I will see you guys in the next episode where we will continue things. So, bye!